Hello everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of the t-shirt design in Illustrator tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 3, and here I'll be showing you guys how you can design a streetwear t-shirt. Okay, so on this chapter we'll learn how you can actually make some streetwear designs and from where you guys can basically download the graphics which are quite helpful. Okay, you guys can look up to this one and you guys can just follow up the same process here as well. So let's not waste time and let's get started on creating a streetwear t-shirt design. So now here, as you guys can see, I'm here in the homepage of the Adobe Illustrator. And from here, what I'll do is I will just change the orientation of this. And I'll just take a page and I will name this page as streetwear design. Okay, streetwear t-shirt design. I'll just save it with this name. I need a bleed of 0.125. CMYK color, raster effect is medium, and yeah, fine. I'll just create a file over here. So as you guys can see, I do have this particular file over here. And what I can do is if I just wanna keep this here on top, I can keep that thing here in this panel as well. Okay, so as you guys can see, I do have the Pathfinder panel over here. If I wanna delete this one, I can actually delete this one here as well. But for now, I'll just decrease the size, but this panel is quite visible. So first thing first, what I'm going to do is I will be taking a box up over here. So I just create a rectangle box from here and let me create this rectangle box quite like this. Okay, so I'll just click on here and I'll try to align this somewhere over here. Okay, so I'll just select this one, or if I just select outside, I need to make sure that I on this one on the smart guides. And now I will come here and I'll just select my text tool. And from here, I will just type the city. Okay, so I'll just type the city from here. And now what I'll do is again, I'll select this whole text up and I will just increase the size of my text from here. Okay, so I'll just increase the size of my text. As you guys can see, I am increasing the size of my text. And what I can do is now select this one with the selection tool. If you just wanna decrease it kind of from this side, you guys can do that. And I'll just place this thing here in the middle. So what I can do is I will just decrease the size of this part. And here I will also decrease this side as well. Okay, so now the alignment quite looks good. And what I can do is now if I just want to select this whole thing again, so I'll just select this whole thing and now I can just change the color. Okay, so there is an option from where I can just change the color of this thing as well. Okay, now as this one is black, if I want to get it to white, so I can just get this thing kind of to white. So here, as you guys can see, I have got this thing to white. Select the selection tool, select this box, okay, and now fill this one with a black color. Okay, so here, as you guys can see, I have just filled this thing with a black color. So this is going to be the center. And now what I want to do is from my system, I want to place some graphics. So I'll just come here in the place option, go to the downloads, and here you guys can see I do have all of this. Okay, so first I will just extract all of this thing out. Okay, so as you guys can see, this thing is extracted, and I do have all this which I can just open. So from here, I will double click and I'll try to view. So this is the image which I do have here. I'll just crop this part down and I'll try to use only this selected part. Okay. So for that, again, I will just zoom out, go to my Illustrator. And now from here, what I'm going to do is I'll just delete this, come here, go to place again. And from here, go to downloads And from downloads here, you guys can see now I do have my image, which I will just place it over here. And let me just give this thing size quite like this. Okay, so now I have this image, and what I can do is if I just want to decrease the size, okay, I can just decrease the size. But here, if I want to crop this thing, here as you guys can see, I do have different tool. Okay, so using this thing, I can actually crop down my image. So this is the blend one, this is the zoom one, as you guys already do have an idea. So I can just come here, and here is the option edit in Photoshop. I can also do it using that. But what I'll do for now is I will come somewhere up over here. And what I'll do is I'll select my pen tool. Okay, so I will just select my pen tool. I'll just off my caps from here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to make up a line over here, and I will just keep the line till this end, and I'll come to this corner, and now I will come here and here. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to delete this part. Okay, so I'll just go back again and select the selection tool. And here, as you guys can see, I do have this box. What I can do is I can just fill this one with a white. Okay, I can just fill this thing with a white over here, and I can just click on OK. So here, as you guys can see, I do have my page, as I do wanted to waste more time over here. Okay, so I'll just go back. If I want to bring this thing kind of here on top, I can just bring this thing kind of here on top as well. Okay, so I do have this one. So what I can do is I can just align this. Okay, I can just group this thing up. And here now, if I just bring the size down, here you can see how it actually works. And I can also just cut this down, okay, this part. So again, other way, what you can do is if you select this one, you come here to the object, and from object here, you guys will be able to see that you do have the option for cropping. Okay, so here you guys can also crop image. So as you guys can see, okay, so here I will just click on OK. And what I can do is I can just crop this image down. So I'll just crop this thing down from here, and I can just click on enter. So here, as you guys can see, I'll just delete this part, and I just want to keep this part over here. So I have just showed you guys different ways of how you can crop this thing down as well. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to keep this thing somewhere here. If you want to intersect this one, okay, you guys can actually intersect. And what I can do is I will just copy another one with Alt. So I'll just copy another one from here. And what I can do is I can just rotate this thing up. Okay, so if I just want to rotate this, I can actually rotate this thing up. So from here, I can manually rotate this. Okay, so here you guys can see now this one is 180-degree, and you can also do it uh not manually as well. If you don't want to do it manually, you guys can do this thing from here as well. And now right click here, and as you guys can see, I do have the option for arrange. So I will just click on send to back. Okay, so this one I'll just come arrange, and I'll just click here on send to back option. And now I'll just come to this point. I'll come to arrange, and I'll just send this thing quite back. So I'll just repeat the same process. Okay, select this one, right click, go to arrange, and send to back. So here, as you guys can see, I have sent this thing quite to the back. So I'll just align this one. So this is how it actually looks if you can see properly. So this is how my image going to look like. So I'll just align this one, and right click, go to arrange, send to back. Yeah, now it's been to the back. Okay, as you guys can see, I do have a design ready right here. Okay, so as you guys can see, I do have this design. So what I want to do is I want to put on some effects on top of my letters. Okay, so here if I want to put some image, I can just put those things up over here. So for that, what I'm going to do is I will come somewhere over here. Okay, I will come right around somewhere here to this color option. And what I need to do is I need to select it with my text tool. So I'll just select this particular text. And in fill option, I am going to fill it with some dark red color. Okay, so here you guys can see I have just put up a dark red color. And here again in the file option, I'll go to place. And from here, I will go to this downloads again. And now what I'm going to do is this is the background one. So I'll just extract all. So I'll just click on the extract option. And here you guys can see I do have this image. Again, I'll go to Illustrator. And from here, as you guys can see, I do have this option. And now I will just put this thing up. So here, as you guys can see, I will just select this particular part. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I am going to just decrease the size. Okay, so I'll just decrease the size of this thing, and now I can just put this one somewhere over here. Okay, I will just decrease the size here in the fine age. Okay, so here also you guys can see I am trying to intersect here in the fine age. Okay, and what I can do is I can just mask this image. Okay, so here as you guys can see, I can just mask this image. If I want to go back, I can go back here as well. Okay, here you guys can see this is just underneath. Okay, so there is another way which you can do this whole thing. So I'll just put this thing over here, take this down and try to align it here in the line exactly. Okay, so make sure that you intersect this line. So I'll just keep this thing somewhere around here. Okay, so this is how you guys can work out. So what I'll do now is I will just send this thing to back. Okay, so I'll just try to send this thing at back, or in that place what I can do is I can come here, go to fill, and I won't choose any color. So now what I can do is I will just keep this here somewhere. Okay, I'll just align this one and keep this. And now go to other option. Okay, right click here, go to arrange, and I can just click on send backward. Okay, so I'll just right click, go to arrange, and I'll just click on send backward. And here you guys can see it quite went backward over here. And now if I don't wanna select this box, okay, so I'll just come here. If I want to delete this one, I can delete this box and I can just give any colors. Okay, so here I will come again. I'll just give a red color. So here you guys can see now how this one actually looks. If I want to adjust the positioning, I can always adjust the positioning from here. Okay, so if you ask me from where you guys can actually download all of these things, then I'll tell you that there is a website called the Free Pick. So from there, that Free Pick website, you guys can download all these graphics. So those graphics are quite easy to work with and very easy to use as well. So now I'll just create a duplicate of this page. Okay, so I'll just click on Alt and I'll just keep this thing here in one side. Okay, so I'll just keep this thing here in one side. And now I'm going to work with the rest. So in that case, what I'm going to do is I'll just take my pen tool again. But here I'll just make this one as an intersect. So here, if you guys can see, I just want to put up an intersect here in the perfect center. So here you guys can see I am making intersect. Okay, so from here, again, I will come here in the middle. So now what I'm going to do is I will just keep this thing here in the middle. So yeah, this kind of looks good. So as you guys can see, I do have this kind of box. But what I can do is I will just go back again. Okay, and now instead of this thing, what I'll choose is I will just choose one line tool. Okay, so from here, I will come here in the line segment tool. And as you guys can see, I'm here in the middle. So I'll just cancel this one or again come here in this middle somewhere. I'll click on OK. And now again, I will just come somewhere around here. Okay, so I'll just come somewhere over here, click on OK, and now again here in the middle. Okay, and now try to align this thing. Okay, so as you guys can see, I'll just keep here. So I do have four options right around here. Again, take my pen tool, and what you can do is now just off the caps lock. And from here, as you guys can see, I do have a anchor over here. Okay, so I do have an anchor point. And again, what I'm going to do is I will just try to select another anchor point. So here I do have another anchor point over here, and I will just select another one. And now I will just give an intersect over here and this whole thing. Okay, I'll just go back and you guys can come here and make a intersect like this. So now again, just select this selection tool. Okay, as you guys can see, and right around here again, if I just go back, okay, so I will just select my pen tool and select this layer and join this layer with this thing. Okay, so I will just select this layer, and what I can do is if I just wanna increase it, I can just increase this thing a bit. Okay, so from here, if I am just want to increase this thing, I will just increase this thing from here. Select the selection tool, and what you're going to do is I can just change the position somewhere from here. Okay, I'll just move this thing out, and what I can do is I'll just select this path, and I will select all of this, and what I can do is I can just lock this thing up that I won't be able to change anything, whichever things I do have here in my background. So yeah, I will just keep this thing right here. And if I want to erase anything, I can erase anything as well. So there are different ways of doing this thing up. You can also do it with the rectangle tool. Okay, so if I am just able to create a rectangle box quite like this, so in that case, I can just give this thing quite a rotation. So from here, select the selection tool, and now you can just give this thing quite a rotation. So from here, you guys can just give any rotation. If you want to decrease the size, you can always decrease the size using Alt. Okay, so I will just give this thing kind of like that. Okay, so this is how it actually looks. And what I'm going to do is if I just want to change the color, I can also change the color quite a bit. Okay, so this line, what I can do is I can come to the stroke and I can just give this thing a brown color. So here, as you guys can see now, this is a brown color, and I can also change the opacity of this thing if I want to. So from here, I will just change the opacity something to 36. Okay, and this is how it's going to look right now. if I want to make another box quite like this. So in that case, what I can do is I can just click on Control C and Control F again. And now I can just increase the size of this layer. And here you guys can see I do have this layer. I can actually decrease the size from here as well. Okay. And now I will select this layer, Control C and Control F again. And now again, I will just increase the size of this things quite a bit from here. So now here, if I want to play around with colors, so I can just play around with the stroke color from here. Maybe if I want to give this one something in green, I can just give this something in green. And here I'll come again to the fill option. And now maybe I will select a different color. Okay, so which color I can select? So let me take this blue color somewhere from here. So now here, as you guys can see, now this whole thing is done. What I'll do is I will just select this duplicate one and I'll just delete this thing as this one is the best one or this one quite looks good. So what I can do is if I just wanna bring this thing up or if I wanna see up a mockup, I can just see a mockup from here. So I have selected this. I'll just click on Control G and now I will just select any of this layer from here. Okay, so I'll just come here again and with my selection tool, what I can do is I can just select this and I can just decrease the size. Okay, so with this selection tool, what I can do is I can just decrease the size of this whole thing. I can do that from here as well. So for that, what I need to do is I need to select each and everything out here. Okay, whatever I do have here. So I'll just click on Shift again and I want to go back. If I want to see my layers, so I'll just come to my Windows. I will just click on layers. And here you guys can see I do have a lot of thing going on here in this layer. So I'll just unlock all of these things again from here from my layers panel. And now I will just select this whole thing and I will just click Control G. Okay, I can just group all these things up. So I'll just select all of this. And what I can do is with Shift, I will just decrease the size of this one. And now what I'll do is I'll just come to this one. Okay, in the file option, and I'll come here in the place. And here in my resource file, okay, so I do have a lot of this thing. Okay, so white shirt, or I will come here. So I'll just place this image right over here. Okay, so I'll just place this image and what I can do is I can just bring up my design over here. Okay, so I'll just like this. Okay, so I'll just select all of this. I'll just group this thing up and what I can do is I can just bring this thing forward. So I'll just right click here, arrange, and I'll just click on bring to front. Go to the place option again. So I'll just come here and I will just place this thing and I'll just make a box. Okay, so I'll just make up a box somewhere over here. And now what I can do is I will just select the whole thing and I will just place this here on the t-shirt. Okay, so I'll just place this thing here on the t-shirt and now I will just arrange and bring to front and I'll just bring this whole thing to front. Okay, I will place this one here in the middle. And now I do have my logos on top of a white t-shirt. If I want to increase the size, I can just increase the size accordingly. So here you guys can see this is my t-shirt design, which I have just created, as you guys can see. So if I just zoom in, okay, this is how it actually looks. If I want to align anything, okay, if I need to align, then in that case, I will be able to align all of this here as well. Okay, so I will just try to align this one somewhere in the center. Okay, I'll just try to keep it here in the center. But this is very good for a preview. So these are few of the streetwears which you guys can actually design for yourself, okay, or design it for your client. So hope you guys have understood this class here as well. See you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone.